Hi everyone, let's start with the next question of the TLE CP sheet. So the question basically says is, you are given an array b1, b2 to bn of positive integers. It is good if all the sums of the two adjacent elements are equal to the same value. That means if the array is b1, b2, b3, b4 dot bn, then sum of each two pair will be equal, right? Let's take it as a b1 plus b2 is equals to b2 plus b3 is equals to b4 plus b5, b4 plus b3 is equals to dot will be k, right? So the sum of each adjacent pairs will be equal, and Doremy has an array of length n. Now Doremy can permute its elements. However, she wants determine if she can make the array good. So in order to make the array good, we have to make the sum of each two consecutive pairs equal, right? So let's analyze it further. So if the array is a1, a2, a3, a4, a5 and so on up to an, then we can see that a1 plus a2 is equals to a2 plus a3 is equals to a3 plus a4. Then we can take the first equation and we can see that a1 will be equal to a3, and in this way it will be equal to a5, it will be equal to a7, and if we take this equation, then it becomes a2 plus a3 is equals to a3 plus a4. a3 will be cancelled out and a2 will be equal to a4, and this will be further equal to a6, a8 and so on, right? So let's take this as x and this as y. So if we replace this one with x and y, it will become x, y, x, y, x, y up to n, right? So you can see that it is only possible if we permute it in alternate manner, right? Maybe x and y be equal or not equal, but the ending, if the array is odd, will be x if it is starting from x, right? If it is odd length and it is starting with x, it will end with x, and again it is if even length, the length is even, then it will become xy, xy, right? So the frequency of the first element should be less than equal to 1, right? Means in even length the permutation can become xy, xy. Here the frequency of xy and the difference of the frequency will be 0, and for odd length the difference in the frequency like xy, xy, x will be 1, right? So we can conclude that if the array is containing all the similar elements like this, then it is already a good pair, and if not, and the size of the array is 2, then the elements should be like this or like this, right? Or maybe in other order. So the conclusion is, if there are elements with suppose a1, a2, a3 and so on, there should be two unique elements and their frequencies should be differ by 0 or 1, otherwise it is not possible, as you can see from this explanation, right? So this was the explanation of the question. Let's code it, right? Size n, will take input of n and take a vector of size n, and now take a mapping to keep track of the elements, right? I'm taking an unordered map of int type. Let's take input of the array elements, right? Now we will increase the frequency of the array elements by 1 each time. In mapping, we will increase the frequency of error I with 1. Now, if the size of the mapping is 1, we will simply print what? Yes, as it is already a good pair, and else if the size of the mapping is greater than 2, then it's not possible, so the output will be no. And if the size of the mapping is 2 exactly, then the frequency should differ by 0 or 1, right? So we'll check the frequency, like auto temp, let's take it at t, right? We'll initialize it with the pointer at the beginning of the map. Now take a frequency 1 and initialize it with the value at it, and in the next pointer let's initialize it with the value, means the frequency, right? Now you will check if the frequency differs by less than 1 or equal to 1, right? Pick 1 minus 2. Is it is less than equal to 1? Then we will print yes. The answer will be simply no. So that was the code. Let's check it in the Codeforces. Let's run it. So the output is yes, yes, no, no, yes, and the real output is yes, yes, no, no, yes. So with this we have solved 6 questions of the TLE CP sheet. Let's meet you in the next video. Bye.